Afternoon, gents. Here we are at the Belmont. A 1-0 home defeat to Fisher, which ends our unbeaten 23-game league run. Coyley, how did you see that game unfold today?
We were just saying off camera there, that's the first time since we've been at the football club for nearly 2 years that we've not had a shot on target. And we've played against a team that's probably, it's the most negative we've played against a side tactically. I thought ultimately they've done a job on us today. They've played in a low block. They've sat 6 behind the ball, which our front two found really difficult to get into the game. And they've had 1 shot on target and they've scored from it. So they've done a job, which is, congratulate them. But we really struggled to break them down today. And I thought we played well through the first 2/3 of the pitch. And then we just couldn't find that cutting edge in the final third. Our balls into the box and wide areas was once again really poor. And when you're playing against 2 holding midfielders and basically back 6 out of possession, you need your wide players to create 1v1 situations and beat their men and get decent quality into the box. And we did do that today. We worked on it on Thursday night and it didn't quite come out in the game. So, listen, well done to Fisher. They've come here, sat behind the ball, and they've nicked a counter-attacking goal with their 1 shot on target. And they've defended much better than they did do when we played them the other day, scoring 5 past them. So, as you would expect, they've changed tactically to counteract what we do and allowed us to have the ball, and we couldn't find a way today. So, listen, I can't fault the effort and again the work rate and determination of the players, but the quality again today wasn't there. We tried to play a different way, and I thought we struggled with the personnel that we had to play that way. And ultimately, it's again we're 23 games unbeaten, and we've lost today. So well done to the opposition, and we can't berate the players. They've been absolutely fantastic for us, and we've learned a lot today. I thought as a management team, we've tried to play a different way. And we've learned a lot about the individuals that we've got in the team and where we need to improve, for sure.
Yeah, Matt, as Golly mentioned there, we huffed and puffed a little bit, I think, and we changed things at half time after having quite a lot of possession in that first half. But as was said there, we created, I think, 1 good chance. Splatty had a header that could have done better with, I think. What was the thinking behind changes at half time?
Just that we needed to try and look at a different type of midfield player, because the personnel in the first half, although we had a lot of ball, we don't pass the ball into the front at all. And we might need to open the game up by driving past somebody, which is something that Connor sort of brings to the table. A lot of our midfield players are quite similar, but we've done that on purpose in terms of personnel that we've signed to play how we've played all season. But then when you've got to play against this, and we found this against Larkfield, we found it against Phoenix, we found it against Cockfosters. When teams sit like this, our wide players, as Jamie said, have got to be better. And next year, they need to be better. And these boys have been given a lot of opportunity. We've scored 11 goals from crosses this year, 11 assists from 2 full-back wide area players. It's nowhere near enough. And a game like today needed that. And we just felt by doing that. And I thought in the second half, Connor's come straight on and he's found the front player's feet. We've got Schaefer in the game higher at the pitch. Splatty's received the ball. Connor's had a shot on target, or a shot off the target, but at least a shot. But the game was going to be won if we can get the ball into the wide areas and get more chances with balls in the box, and we didn't do that at all today. So that's, like I say, we've known that anyway all season, and it's not changed today, and it's been a default of ours again today. And we've got to change it in the summer, like we have to. Like, we can't just keep throwing up the same stuff. We're going to play against better players and better teams. So, like I say, like the manager said, I think it's given us loads of food for thought. We've said to the players, and again, you can't fault their effort and their desire, no issue with that whatsoever. We've had a lot of the football, but again, against a team that's really letting you have the ball, we don't have the players. We can tactically, we changed a couple of things tactically in the second half, which I was really pleased with the players taking on board the tactics, but you still got to individually then be able to find something. And I said it just in the change room to the players. Somebody actually said this is like an England game, and that's what it was like. It was like one of the lower clubs coming to play with one of the lower countries, playing England, sitting behind a ball, and it's going to look like that. But then you don't defend like that. You get 0-0, and you might find a way right at the end because they're defending at 0-0, and there's a bit more pressure, and we might nick a winner. But which we've done loads this year, by the way. So again, repeat what Jamie said. Don't want to berate the players. We don't want to go over the top about it. But it is reinforcing what we already know, and it really did reinforce that today. So there was loads of learning taking place. And we really want to win this game on Monday. We wanted to win today. Like, really, I'm so disappointed. Like, I feel really flat, and I really want to get tomorrow out of the way and get back in here on Monday. So I want to win. And we had over 1,000 people here today, which is absolutely brilliant. And I think we'll have more here on Monday. We're going to receive that trophy, and we don't want it to be flat. Like, we really want to raise the roof here, and the players have got to deliver a performance on Monday. As have we as staff, we've got to make sure that we get that team.
Yeah, that was touching it on the end of his answer then. We got 4 games left in the league, and we've got a cup final to look forward to. So there's still plenty to play for, and obviously not just keeping the interest going with the fans, but obviously players want to be playing for their shirt and their place in the squad next season. What's your thoughts on these last 5 games?
Yeah, like I say, I still congratulate the players at the end, because they've left everything on the pitch. They've done everything we've asked them to do, but we've tried to play a different way to them that we want to be associated with. We want to be identified as being, coaches that play through the thirds and are expansive. But ultimately, we haven't been successful doing that this year, and we've got individual players that have done the other side for us all season, that has got us the championship and got us to a cup final. But we tried something. We can experiment in these last 4 games, but for me, on Monday we go back to what we've been successful with all season. The players are understanding that. We've got the individual capabilities of doing it that way, and the results have proven that. And we put a real top performance on. And we want to, like I say, you don't want to receive the league winners trophy after having a poor performance and a poor result. So, like I say, today is about learning for us as a management team, because we're having constant conversation now about how we move forward. And clearly, we need completely different individual capabilities and attributes if we are going to revert to playing a different way. And we do that. But we've got big games left. Like I said, I've said it in the press all week. We're not down in tools. I feel down about losing the game today, and we haven't had that feeling for a long, long time. But you've got to look at the bigger picture, and we've got a lot of answers out today, and we've got to make sure that Monday, with all the people that are voting with their feet and the gate again today, as well as it will be on Monday, we've got a real good show on for them, and make sure that we go back to what we've done all season, and I'm sure that'll bring a positive result for us.
Yeah, and Matt, football's a funny game when you think of there's a bit of a low, mood. I think after today's game, when you think a few weeks ago we played against here from Belvedere, where we've played a totally different way, not overly happy with the performance, but we scored 2 really late goals, and everyone was like bouncing around saying what a great win, which it was. It's getting that balance right going forward. How do you see that?
Well, I think we looked at the way that we played similar to today in the start of last year. We didn't really have the players, so we changed it, and we've been successful ever since. But we know that we need to be able to play both ways next year. We're not going to play one way or the other. We need to be able to have spells with the football, and we need to be able to be a little bit more direct, a little bit more robust. And at the moment, we're really good at one and not very good at the other. And we've got to make sure that we get the blend right in the summer, and that's going to take some recruitment, which we already know anyway. We've already identified some players. Obviously, we'll wait till the end of the season so we can speak to people. But we know that, and we know the level well enough. We've both managed and coached in it for a long time, so we know step forward, inside out. We've got loads of information on the other teams already. We've got the opportunity to obviously look at Huddle and Scout next year, so we've got no issue with any of that. Tactically, no problem at all in terms of what we do without the ball. I thought out of possession today, I don't think they've really created anything other than the shot on target they scored. They haven't created anything against us whatsoever. So they haven't broken us down, they haven't counter-attacked on us, anything whatsoever. They've just literally come here to make sure they don't get beat 5-0 again, which again, you have to give them credit for. And we've got to find players that can do both. And like I say, we don't want to talk too much about that at the moment, because we have to give these players absolutely great credit, and they've got to enjoy the rest of this season, and we've got to give them utmost respect. And also, they're fully aware that they're in the position that they're better off than every other player that we're looking at the moment, because they're in front of us. So their opportunity to start this football club where we want to take it is right now. And ultimately, if they don't take it, then somebody else will do so, because we've sat here for 2 years saying we're going to get this football club where it needs to be, which we've delivered. We've won at Wembley, which we delivered. And some of them players that were here are no longer here. And these boys have been told exactly the same, because we want to stay here and we want to be successful. And to do that, we've got to move things forward. And like I say, this is a dress rehearsal for next year. We're in a massive advantage now for 4 games that we can look at everything prior to even pre-season. So it's such a big advantage for us. Yeah. And we've utilised today for that. Like I said, like the manager says, we really have utilised today for that. To find a way through a team that are going to sit there rather than just keep going long and long and long and then coming off going, well, they sat there and we drew 0-0. We've tried to find a way. And I think tactically we were fine. Individually we weren't. And that's a little bit on the players. They've got to take responsibility for that. We took loads of responsibility here if things haven't gone quite well in terms of performance, and they've got to do that today. So on Monday, as he says, we'll come here, we'll go back to what we know and what we do and what the players suit as well, which we've signed them for, by the way. Yeah. We've signed these players to play a certain way, and it's been successful. Do that on Monday, and then we'll look at what we need to do for the following 3 games. But we want to make sure this is really rocking on Monday. Give the crowd a real big lift, get some goals, get 3 points, and then enjoy Monday night.
Absolutely. Brush yourselves down, fellas, and we'll see you on Monday. All the best.
Cheers. Thank you.